Hey, hey, welcome back to the, oh god, I'm still streaming myself, Alexandrian Codex, just ignore that. I'm Alex. This is Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. This is our tiny, tiny baby park. Got a long way to go. Hopefully the mic should sound a little bit better now. I mean, it won't sound amazingly better, but a little bit. This is the loudest sound effect in the game, I think, except for the tornado or the tropical storms. It can be a little irritating. You ever make merch for your channel, it should just be illustrated typography of the word shenanigans. I am like 99% sure that the word shenanigans is not real. But yeah. Yeah, if only I knew a graphic designer who could do that kind of thing for me.
No problem.
Who definitely isn't overworked and definitely isn't working on stuff as we speak. Nah. Nah. Yeah, I think I'm a fair way off from justifying merchandise. It'd be fun. I mean, I've done it before. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I had business cards, and I think I still have one around somewhere. It had my name and it had Daydreamer Extraordinaire on it. Because all I did back then was like write, make art and poetry and play games, and I was actually doing QA for a few pretty impressive mods back then, but yeah, it was pretty silly. Yeah, I should copyright shenanigans. Yeah, that's good aggressive business practices. I'd like a place to rest. You mean like a bench? Would you like to rest on that bench? Juanita? What? Excuse you? You're tired, huh? Hey, yep. Yep. You'd like a place to rest. Now, what the game is telling me is that it wants me to build this a rest area. Even though we have benches. I have a few too many. Yeah, fuck off. You're fine. So when people are taken off of the path, they get angry and sad. I'm deleting the path so that there's just one loop. Our cleaners will take the one loop, and they should be able to keep the entire thing clean. I don't want to have to hire new cleaners already.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Edmontosaurus remains amber.
Message from Dr. Wu.
Let's do the amber. Hey man, want to do some amber? Well, there's actually many ways that can be taken. I don't love this. I don't love this. How much is it to build a restroom? Can I just do away with that entire terrible corner of the park? Oh, I absolutely can. Yeah, let's just pretend like that corner of the park isn't there.
Welcome.
Hey. $30 sandwiches. No.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Yeah. You can hold on, Grant. We're just gonna delete that. Yeah. Delete that. Oh no, how could you? What a jerk.
What are your instructions?
Ah. I'm just gonna. Oh no, I'm lost and I have nowhere to go. How good is your pathfinding? Can you find your way back onto the path?
Message from Dr. Wu.
Or are you just stranded? How stupid are you? Pretty fucking stupid. Okay. Right. They will only follow the path. Ah, I hate. Oh my god, that person died. Oh, it's a cleaner. Oh. Oh, doesn't matter. This cleaner will clean no more. I've never seen that before.
Good choice.
Okay.
Message from the park warden's office.
Yeah, park warden's office, huh? Alright. You're off of that segment of path. Keep going. Keep
Message
going.
from
You
Dr.
weren't even
Graham.
on that. Get out of here.
Message from Dr. Wu.
I got a lot of messages. I can make a Monosaurus. You should build a ranger station with Triceratops remains. Yeah, alright, cool. Keep the remains coming. Is it delete? What's the hotkey for this? Die to exposure. Exposure to what? A little bit of rain. Yeah, well, you know, acid rain, I guess. Very acidic rain. Wham! Don't give me that. Keep moving. Get out of here. Fortunately, most games have improved on that and no longer have people spontaneously die if they step off of a path for more than 30 seconds. Alright, cool. So, our 5 people should be able to better keep this clean than they were that weird meandering area they had before. And it keeps my people, or the guests, all in one loop. Our number of guests is 10 to 1, or 11 to 1 ratio with the dinosaurs. I guess that's okay. There are a lot of people on here. Look at this line. Ah, yes. Truly the joy. 4 identical twins. Chris, Dimitri, Juan, and Nick. It's the exact same animation every single time. That's pretty good. No way do I need more. In what world do I need more than 5 people to keep a section of path this short clean? This is absurd. It's hilarious, but absurd. Monosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus. Now we're getting Homocephalae from our new site because we have Pachycephalosaurus. We also have Edmontosaurus. Because they're with Parasaurolophus, and I think that yeah, they are incredibly excited about this view. The jungle. Look at that beautiful cleaning station. No, hey, that's the entrance where we came from. Maybe if we just stare off into the distance, maybe they're watching the helicopters come in, or like staring, waiting for their escape out of here. That's believable. And you can really see quite an arc from this one binocular station. Well, if I were keeping a casualty counter, I'm tempted to. That's 1 cleaner dead due to management negligence. I'm sorry. Edmontosaurus DNAs continue to be extracted. Now, we're starting to get lines. What?
Message from Dr. Wu.
Why are you... What's your problem? Now, how much I clean, there's always more dirt. More dirt. Dirt. Yep, dirt. Alright, Julian, what's your problem? Wish they would do something about the crowds. Excuse you, Julian? I'll do something about the crowds. Don't tempt me. I keep misclicking. I want this. I want to go to vaccines. I want
Message from Dr.
Dino Flu. Awesome. Yeah, I love how a worker death didn't affect anything. Well, it's like in Disney, you know, if somebody dies, you don't talk about it. They didn't die at Disney. People are not declared dead in Disneyland or Disney World until they're removed from company premises. People are declared dead in Orlando, but not in Disney. People don't die in Disney. People don't die in Jurassic Park. He wasn't in Jurassic Park. He's not going to be declared dead until his body's taken back to Costa Rica, and a doctor there is able to indicate that yes, he's actually dead. InGen Corporation accepts zero liability for what may or may not happen on this island. I'm hiring twice as many cleaners. I feel kind of defeated that I have to hire more cleaners, but this is just a joke how dirty this is getting. It's probably because of how many people are walking around.
This is happening. What should we do?
Well, you got me, game. You fucking got me. Now I have to build a ranger station. Because we got some sick dinosaurs. Alright, what are you sick with? Gastric poison. I don't have.
Message from
Yeah, I can't help you with that.
Urgent message from John Hammer.
People love seeing those sick dinosaurs.
Good to see you again.
Alright, 2.5 stars times 2, so let's just charge 500. Didn't the first Jurassic movie plot start with the worker death due to Velociraptor? Yeah, well, allegedly. Again, I don't think they died until they reached Costa Rica. yeah. Disneyland, you're not allowed to stand on the grass and you're not allowed to die. Yep. It's the happiest place on Earth. Oh, and I'm researching dinosaur flu. Yeah, you're just gonna die, guys. Sorry. I can't do anything about that.
Restrictions.
I actually feel bad about this, but those dinosaurs are very dead, and there's nothing I can do about it. They're likely to infect others. Well, that sucks. Thanks for following, Bridgewater. Not showing up yet. It will. It will.
I'd like your thoughts on this.
Moobot and, Streamlabs are not always
How are
on
you today?
the same page. This is awkward. Having a bad time, huh? Yep, you're sick. They don't heal on their own. This doesn't go away until I shoot them with immunization. Yep, there it is. Yeah, well, you know, maybe the justification for why rabies is a disease is because in Jurassic Park, a lot of the DNA is filler DNA, right? Now, they say that they fill it with frogs' DNA, which, what a stupid idea. But you know, maybe there's some mammal DNA in there that might make them... I don't know. It would be modern diseases, right? So some of these make sense. Some of these don't. Rabies doesn't really make sense. Ticks? Are there ticks native to the Caribbean region? I don't know. I really have not lived that far south in my life. Okay, opals and amber. Alright, dope. I love amber. Extract this, sell this. Money, money, money. I don't want to bring any more dinosaurs into the park until
Message from Dr. Wu.
these two meet their sad but inevitable fate. You know. Why don't I... Why don't I make a quarantine area? Because they definitely need to be quarantined before they infect anything else. Now, in my mind, something called gastric poisoning doesn't seem like it's necessarily contagious. Gastric poisoning is probably caused by a problem in the diet. But I don't know that. In the context of this game, I don't know that. So, hey buddy, get tranquilized. You not falling asleep yet? Oh, it just hadn't laid its head down. So, this little piggy is going into isolation. Because if you die, I don't want guests to see you sick and dying. Oh yeah, dinosaurs would definitely be super vulnerable to modern diseases. But you know, no more or less vulnerable than most newborns are, right?
Message from Dr. Wu.
Because... Are you sick still? Did you get better? The idea of cloning a dinosaur is actually kind of ridiculous.
You should stop that, Mom.
You're not sick anymore? No, you're still sick. Because we're very complicated organisms. The genetic structure of various parts of our body varies. Especially when it comes to, like, our stomach contents. Like the bacteria that live in our digestive tracts.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Vary from person to person, region to region. And even if you had a lot of DNA to play with, you won't have that DNA to play with. Yeah, the oxygen levels are way different today than they were 65 million years ago, or even 63 million years ago. Probably something that allowed dinosaurs to grow to the size that they were increased oxygen levels in the atmosphere, allowing an easier oxygenation of blood, allowing for larger creatures without problems. If you go back to the Triassic and earlier periods than that, that's why you would find fucking
Message from Dr.
gigantic arthropods, insects.
Great to see you
So let's
again.
just... There is no Warren Bossing say. There are no sick dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Nothing going on here. You're gonna replace those dinosaurs and no one will know the difference. It's fine.
How can I help?
This is sad. It's small. It's depressing. They have water. I think. Let's just give you a tiny bit more water. This is not fresh water, though. Really, it doesn't look like we have a source of fresh water. Why are you all so whiny at the bathrooms? Do I need? The crowds here are terrible. So the bathrooms are just crowded, huh? Okay. Nah, I hear you. I hear you. Resentfully, I hear you. Let's just... Pop one of these down here. That should help dissipate the crowd. And Monosaurus is now done.
Things
Very
good.
cool.
No problem.
So, two of you.
Message from Dr. Wu.
What? Oh, dino food. Yeah, let's get gastric poisoning research now. I was saying I didn't want to make more dinosaurs until I could just immunize all of them, but whatever. It sounds like a horror movie if you put people in the dinosaurs role. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why...
Message from Dr. Grant.
That's why, you know, Ian Malcolm is raising ethical concerns about having dinosaurs brought back to life. Like, it'd be horrifying.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Because you don't have...
we are pleased to announce the arrival of our latest attraction, Edmontosaurus.
Hey,
It
buddy.
is truly a delight to observe the natural grace of these gentle giants.
Who's a giant duck? Who's a giant duck? You are. Yeah, it'd be...
What would you recommend in this situation?
Creatures raised outside of their natural social groups and environments often undergo very traumatic adolescent periods. I mean, you look at people, and obviously it's kind of complicated, but you look at people raised in isolation, and they can have some very serious issues for obvious reasons. And you look at mammals raised in isolation, look at birds raised in isolation, they have serious social problems and disorders. Like, how do you learn to act like a person? Well, you're taught by other people. How does a dog learn to be a dog? Well, it's typically taught by other dogs. At least it needs to be around a mother for a certain period of time. How does a dinosaur know what it's supposed to be? How it's supposed to act? Like, that is in some part encoded in its genetic material, but a lot of that's social learned. It's social behavior, and if you don't have that social group to learn it from, that's kind of uncomfortable and kind of awkward and very, very difficult. Now, how do you teach a woolly mammoth to be a woolly mammoth, even if a elephant could bring it to term, theoretically? You can't.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Man, we are rolling
Good
in
to see you.
finding money. Yeah, do this one, then we should be able to sell these two. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I'm sorry. Did I make a third Torosaurus, or did I leave this with two Torosaurus? Let's
Sure.
pop in another Torosaurus. You're wondering, you're sick, you're thirsty. You're both fairly thirsty. I added water to your... This might be too small of an enclosure. I may have fucked up here. I may have made it too hard for you to move around so you can't get to the water. Yeah, you're colliding on each other. Yep.
Would you like us to take
New fossil shipment. No, Donka. No, thank you. Okay, now you definitely have access to water, and I don't need to worry about you.
Message from Dr. Wu.
Ah, there we go. Money. So, Triceratops is the only thing that we're still producing here.
How
Yeah.
can I help?
So, small herbivores. Let's get
Yep.
4 Pachycephalosaurus. Yep, 5. There's a limit to how many dinosaurs you can have in a park, isn't there? And I do not remember why it is. Yeah, maybe that's why velociraptors are so violent in the film. They learned from the lead velociraptor, which killed the worker in the first scene. Yeah, it's entirely possible. I mean, they are carnivorous, so they would be inclined to hunt and kill. But the velociraptors in the original Jurassic Park are, like, comically
Ladies and gentlemen,
evil.
we are pleased to inform you that we are now exhibiting the hard-hitting...
And also, the velociraptors are Utah raptors, right? Or megaraptors. Velociraptors are like this big. They're, this big? Big? They're small, my point is. They are small, feathered, violent things, but they aren't that big. Utah raptor and megaraptor and...
Okay.
There's another one? We're big. We're several meters tall. Yeah. But for whatever reason, that was not the understanding of the people making the movies. Pachycephalosaurus is my favorite goddamn dinosaur. The little bony head, the way they acted like big lizard rams, they're adorable. It's absolutely adorable. They may not have been in real practice, but our understanding of Pachycephalosaurus is what colors that opinion, or that sentiment that I have. Wow. Velociraptor is probably a close second, just because they're so iconic. Ooh, yeah, it'd be very cool if they brought in different kinds of raptors. Ah, yeah. It's... more variety would be fantastic, and I think they did a very good job in Jurassic World of bringing in new variety of Paleozoic and Mesozoic creatures, especially with the aquatic displays were quite interesting. Mosasaurs weren't necessarily that big all the time. They're big, not necessarily that big. Some got that big, but they were not necessarily the size of fucking whales.
Good if you visited more often.
Yeah.
Things are good.
Yeah, I could set up more events here to make more money. Yeah. Well, they're complaining about how crowded it is, particularly with respect to the bathrooms. Yeah, right. The hybrid was violent because it was raised in isolation, probably. And so it didn't learn social cues from parents, right? So it was only left with instinct. Right, yeah, Jurassic World had a whole subplot about this.
Message
Uh,
from Dr. Sadler.
It's so violent because it didn't learn better. Well, you know, that's an interesting line of thought. Are you complaining about the crowds? Yeah, of course you are.
What should we do?
Your Torosaurus has died of old age. Yep.
Hi there. Great.
Yeah. I mean, we say stuff like that, but we also have, like, puppies, right?
Message from Dr. Sadler.
After, a few weeks,
Great to
people
see you.
will adopt a puppy, take it away from its family, its social unit, and raise it in isolation. And most dogs don't have terrible
Message from
developmental
John.
disorders. Some do. Some definitely do. But most don't. Alright, let's read these quarterly reports. I haven't been reading these. Ah, hey, you added a dinosaur. Good job. Thank you. I already know I'm doing a good job. Sell this. Yeah. Extract this. Thank you. Oh. Well, we could watch Jurassic Park.
Message from Dr.
You want to watch Jurassic Park tonight, Cora? So this died, but I only wanted 3 on display anyway, so that's
I
fine.
want to handle this.
Did I say Jurassic Park or Jurassic World? Well, whatever. We could watch all of them. Or we could just watch Jurassic World. I kind of want to rewatch through all of them before the new movie comes out. Jurassic Park is a movie I've seen dozens of times. I had it on a VHS, and as a kid, as a teenager, I had, you know, one of those tiny TVs with built-in VHS, and I used to just pop it in every night before going to sleep and fall asleep to
Message from
Jurassic
Dr.
Park.
Wu.
But then I used to do the same thing with Star Wars and Indiana Jones movies, and oh, there was another big one. Shawshank Redemption. I actually fell asleep to a lot. It's really weird. If you do that enough, you start dreaming through the movie. Like, you're in the movie and every single scene in subsequent order. It is a trip. I think that was actually a really instrumental piece in me being able to lucid dream. Well, yeah. Sure, this dinosaur. Vaccinate the entire species.
Message from Dr.
Hell yeah. I am a huge proponent of people watching more dinosaur movies. I mean, if you've watched this channel before, you know whenever I'm drinking coffee or tea, or whatever, I'm drinking it out of an old school Jurassic Park mug. That thing is from the 90s. That thing was from the original movie. I've been drinking out of that thing my entire life. Jurassic Park was actually the first movie that I ever saw. My parents took me to see Jurassic Park around when it came out. I was born in 92, so, you know, pretty close. To drive-in theater was where we had seen it. And, you know, my sister was a little scared of it. My dad and mom were enjoying it, but I was just sitting there, a tiny, tiny child, in the back seat of the car, or on the hood of the car, I guess, because it was a drive-in, right? And apparently I just sat there the entire time through, you know, all the murder, death scenes and the scary scenes, just going, dinosaur, dinosaur, over and over and over. It's been fairly impactful on me, I think is safe to say. I don't remember it at all, frankly, but...
Message from Dr. Wu.
Alright, can we clear this out? Now, Dr. Blue is
Coming together.
researching rabies. After this, I'm gonna research hatchery immunization, so we won't need a quarantine area ever again. Pay no attention to the dinosaur corpse outside the enclosure. Yeah! That's a cool scene. The whole T-Rex scene is... its introduction is very well done. The special effects in that movie stand up today. And because they're almost all costumes and animatronics. The Velociraptors were costumes. They're fucking amazing. The people in those costumes had to have like the most unnatural poses that they had to hold for, you know, very long recording sessions and costuming sessions. It's really a triumph of old school movie making, meaning mechanical versus digital movie making. Like brilliant costuming and set design, and yeah, really. I don't think it's at all strange of me to claim that it's one of the best movies of all time. I don't think that's a contentious statement to make. I'm gonna throw in another viewing vent right here.
Welcome.
It's also gonna be a playpen vent, but just to give people twice as much places to spend their dear money. Yeah, yeah, some people have talked about what it would take to create a Jurassic Park. How to bring back long extinct species. We'd basically have to take birds, like chickens, and genetically modify them to be more like dinosaurs. Or take a bunch of avian species with common ancestors, i.e. dinosaurs, and find the bits of DNA that they have in common. And the oldest bits of DNA that they have, and try to reverse engineer it from there. It's very, very complicated trying to dream up a way to practically, realistically make Jurassic Park. The sequels were pretty good. Jurassic Park 2... what was that? That one had the kid in it, right? And Jurassic Park 3 had the Spinosaurus? Jurassic Park 3, I thought was pretty okay. The cell phone jingle is probably my favorite thing from that movie. So, no, that's 3. The 3. 2 had them going back to the island and NGen bringing a dinosaur back to Sacramento, of all places. And 3 had Dr. Grant dragged back to the island because someone's kid was stuck there. Yeah. They were fine. I like the inclusion of new dinosaurs. The second one I really liked, seeing dinosaurs in a pseudo-natural habitat. The way that they operated as an ecosystem was really exciting and cool to me. Yeah. I used to make, out of my dinosaur toys and my Legos, like cages and implements like InGen had used to capture the dinosaurs. And I thought that was really cool. The idea of like capturing dinosaurs in the wild and bringing them back to like a zoo seemed really cool to me. 3 was San Diego. Yeah, still pretty random, especially because the fucking islands are in the Caribbean. Why the hell was the company taking dinosaurs from the Caribbean through the fucking Panama Canal or around South America into California, rather than to Texas or Florida or Louisiana or anywhere along the Caribbean coast or anywhere along the East Coast, instead going all the way south through the fucking Panama Canal to, yeah. Weird. But, you know, whatever. It was probably because they wanted to shoot scenes in San Diego for whatever reason. Maybe San Diego or California had film making grants for companies making films set there. That's a big reason why a lot of movies and TV shows are shot in Canada, especially around Toronto. Yeah, 3 wasn't very good. I like the inclusion of the Spinosaurus. The da 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 is stuck in my head for the rest of my life.
Great to see you again.
But not great. But set in the Pacific Ocean on the west side of Costa Rica. But all right, yeah. Don't worry about this. Jurassic Park Islands. East Winubar, off the coast of Costa Rica. Where the hell is Costa Rica? Oh, okay, off the coast of Costa Rica in the Pacific, not in the Caribbean. I was imagining it in the Caribbean, like out here. But what you're saying is it being believable that it's like off here, or yeah, okay, I buy it. Sure. When I was thinking Costa Rica, I'm like, Costa Rica is a country bordering the Caribbean, so naturally they'd be Caribbean islands. But if it were in the Pacific, yeah, then San Diego is the closest port in the United States, though going through the Panama Canal to here would still be shorter. Yeah, okay, I buy it. Yeah, for some reason I never internalized that they meant Caribbean Pacific Islands, or Costa Rican Pacific Islands. The crowds here are terrible. Well, Rachel from Oklahoma, I can double the prices.
Good to see you.
I don't need to double the prices. What I need to do is double the amount of paths so that people can go longer without running into each other, but I'm not really wanting to do that right now. Here, let's start with this. Yeah. Alright. That said, let's tear this down. Give them a little bit more room to run around. Now, herbivores, unlike carnivores, are harder to control where exactly they are because they'll eat the goddamn foliage. So, they'll be happy to hang out over here if they can just keep eating away at the enclosure. I'm making more room because there's just so many of them and it seems a little crowded to me. Dinosaurs don't care about the crowding, but I do, because it's aesthetically displeasing. Found nothing. Now they can find... Yes. Gorgeous, yeah. I'm buying all this Triceratops stuff so we can just get them to 100% and not have to look back. Yeah, remaking prehistoric plants, you can't do it. you can't do it. So you just have to find plants that look sufficiently prehistoric. It's kind of silly that dinosaurs can get sick from eating modern plants. Because we had to remake their entire digestive systems anyways, and re-genetically code them. Why not make it so that they can eat modern plants? There's no way to bring back old flora, because it's impossible enough to get DNA of a dinosaur, and they have descendants. Whereas with old school plants, I guess, okay, maybe you could take a lot of plants native to a certain region, say around where you found a certain type of dinosaur, and you try to find genetic samples within a vast sampling of flora in that area for shared genetic code, and use that to create a facsimile of like a progenitor plant species, but no. It'd be very difficult. Oh, I've already been going for 3.5 hours. Only got about 20 minutes left for tonight. Nothing. I'm keeping that those dig teams in Hell Creek to try to find more Triceratops remains so we can get this maxed out, but game does not seem to want to cooperate in that regard. Ah, no, this might do it for us. I'm gonna save off on buying that just in case this gets us to 100. This might have 13%. I'm expecting it to have more like 10.
Message from Dr. Wu.
Oh, no, there it is. Proving me wrong. Thank you, game. So, hey, we're done in Hell Creek. Get the fuck out of here. We can unlock something else. Gallimimus, do you have any preferred companions? I think Dryosaurus, probably. What do you like? You like yourself. Okay, Gallimimus is a self-contained species. Gallimimus likes Gallimimus. Alright, that's pretty easy. So, I can make... We have 2 more sites to unlock. We already have Triceratops, so... We have Pachycephalosaurus, so this isn't a great choice. All we need to get is Ankylosaurus and Albertosaurus. Now, Ankylosaurus is my favorite, or Ankylosaurus is one of my favorite as well, so, tempting. Styracosaurus should mix well with Torosaurus and Triceratops. Corythosaurus should mix well with Edmontosaurus and Parasaurolophus, so these are tempting. Tyrannosaurus, like we were talking about earlier, seems obligatory, so let's go ahead and unlock this. Now, for our last one, Brachiosaurus is tempting, Camarasaurus, these fit the theme that we're going for. We're already going to have Stegosaurus, Stegosaurus is tempting, Dryosaurus kind of fits. Ankylosaurus is really tempting, but with the Pachycephalosaurus in here, this just seems like a waste. We could get Ouranosaurus. Ouranosaurus mixes well with Edmontosaurus. Yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. It'd be cool to be able to visit the actual dig sites. I mean, it kind of makes sense that it's not a real thing in that you can't actually go there, but it'd be fucking cool if you could. How much is another team? Ah, unable to buy another team. Never mind. And have mini games, or be able to upgrade the dig sites, or invest more in the dig sites, or have competing teams, or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. But I also think paleontology is pretty cool, and that archaeology is pretty cool, and that spending hours and hours of your life dusting and digging and gently sifting soil is fun. Which is an unpopular opinion, I think. Which is why so many dig sites operate primarily from volunteer labor. Mostly from graduate students or undergrads, particularly, but yeah. If you've ever wanted to spend time digging at an archaeology site or paleontology site, that sounds fun to you, you can definitely volunteer doing that. It's a very worthwhile and admirable way to spend a summer. And if you haven't gone to college yet, you can get college credit for doing it, so tempting. Oh, think employees can sabotage your park in Evolution. That would be cool. Because, you know, the whole bit with Nedry, Dennis, was why everything went to hell. In this game, like I talked about earlier, it's very, very hard for stuff to go wrong.
Message from John Hammond.
It's...
Urgent message from Dr.
You
Seth.
kind of have to try for things to go wrong here.
Urgent message from
I
Dr.
love
Seth.
this. The reports will say you're having problems with the disease in your park before you ever get the disease, and then you get the disease.
Urgent message
Yeah,
from Dr. Seth.
it's fine, it's fine. What are you sick with? Gastric poisoning? Vaccinate the species. This is going to be very expensive, but that's okay.
Okay.
I could hop in the helicopter and be shooting them full of life-saving drugs myself. Nah, thanks. Newman. Yeah, Newman from Seinfeld. Okay, yeah, I'm like, his name is not Newman in Jurassic Park. Yeah. What happened to that actor? He's been in things since. He's been in a couple things since. Wasn't he in Frasier at some point? That can't be right. Ah! My least favorite thing. Dun, 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 dun. Tornadoes can spontaneously happen. Now, tornadoes are not a ubiquitous meteorological event. Tornadoes only appear in very specific areas of the world. Islands, not known for their tornadoes. Oh right, we can't fly during a tornado because of
I'd like your thoughts on this.
I don't have flight stabilizers. Sometimes, when these tornadoes run into a tree, the tree just disappears. I thought I remembered it sometimes having the tree fly along with it. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong. I could have sworn that was a thing. Man, this beelining it straight for our park. It's like it knows. Ah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at what else is coming out in Evolution. It'd be fun to do a comparison between the two. This tornado is hellbent on reaching the park. It's such a small park, but no, just going right for it. Yep.
Message from Dr. Wong. Urgent message from the park administrator.
It's fine.
Urgent
Oh.
message from the park
Yep.
administrator.
Flying dinosaurs, they're not gonna survive this. they will not survive that. Alright, so we lost 2 Torosaurus and a Pachycephalosaurus there? Yep. Yep. Yep, alright. Ah, yeah, buildings do get damaged by tornadoes. That's right. This is severely damaged. Do you want to pay a lot of money to repair it? Do you want to pay a lot of money to repair it? Do you want to pay a lot of money to repair it? No, I don't, but I will. So, gonna have to just do that. Alright, Cowie minus DNA, this needs repairs, that needs repairs, that needs repairs. Oh wow, like all of the buildings need repairs. Yeah, 2 Torosaurus and a Pachycephalosaurus, I can keep track of that. Repair that. Repair that.
Message from Dr. Wong.
Repair this. That doesn't need repairs, and this is fine. Yeah, so the customers probably won't be very happy with
Message from
that.
the park administrator.
I hope you realize that one of our visitors just left the... Wait, one of our visitors, comma, just left the park feeling terrified. This comma is not grammatically correct. One of our visitors just left... No. Weird. What's going on with security? Well, excuse you. I don't think it's reasonable to expect me to secure the park against random acts of God. That might hurt our park rating. Why not? But I have a feeling it's not gonna do our park rating any favors. Well, people are complaining about it being overpacked. Maybe a few people disappear. Really, I'm just doing this out of love of the customer. Alright, there we go. Once we're full up on Pachycephalosaurus, we can pop in another couple of Triceratops. Will help round this out quite nicely.
Message from the park administrator.
Viewing platform 1 is in need of repairs. Thank you, I didn't realize that. Restroom 2 is in need of repairs. Fucking thank you. I'm mad because I don't like crowds. I wish they would do something about the crowds. Who goes to a theme park and is like, you know, the crowds here, ridiculous. I'm speaking as someone who hates crowds and who absolutely abhors how bad people are at foot traffic.
Message from Dr. Wong.
Like going to festivals and carnivals or parades or whatever is always an annoying experience for me, just because I hate how dumb people are at getting around. But come on, man, you want to do a theme park. Chill. Be patient. Or be hyper aggro. One of the two. Either, like, weave your way through the crowd, or, like, slow down and relax. Don't be like, this park is making a mistake in letting so many people come to the park. What, it's like they want paying customers or something. Imagine that.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Cephalate, Mimus, nothing.
No problem.
I'm curious what behind the scenes is behind the randomization of the pseudo randomization of what fossils you do or do not get. Because, you know, it is kind of a hidden loot box of sorts. Do you get loot? Do you get... Is it like a dice roll? Is it prefixed that there's a certain order? Is there a certain percentage chance? If it's a certain percentage chance, how is that calculated? Yeah, I think in my free time I'm gonna pop open the game code and take a look.
What should we do here?
Yeah, finally! Immunization. I cannot say that word. Complete. A ticket to Jurassic Park, I mean, 1 or 200, probably, is what I'd figure. Upkeep would be ridiculous, yeah, but, like, it's
Message
fucking,
from Dr. Wu.
it's, InGen, and in Jurassic World they talk about this, Jurassic Park isn't making as much money as it used to. InGen's mostly making money off of the, copyright of the, or the patent of the genetic modification tools that they use to create the pseudo-dinosaurs that they have in the park. So, as a park, or as a zoo, or a natural preserve, it probably wouldn't be hyper profitable. Honestly, I think the best way to do it is to have a massive enclosure like this, a few access points, and have guided tours through that point. Keep the park small, lean, easily managed and upkept,
Message from Dr.
and
Grant.
let the dinosaurs have the run of the island.
Great.
Because having them in zoo-like conditions is, it's okay, but so many zoos operate in large part off of grants
Message from
and
Dr. Wu.
donations that it's not a sustainable business model. Even exotic zoos or exotic preserves, say like in Africa or Southeast Asia or even in the United States, they really don't profit that much from tourism. Imagine a dinosaur safari hunt. It'd be it'd be interesting, I think. Your own chance to hunt a T-Rex. I wouldn't want to. Like, hunting for sport doesn't have much of an appeal to me, personally. Like, it just seems wasteful. You're taking this weapon that was manufactured out of metals and minerals and other elements extracted from all over the world, or all over a large geographic
Message
region,
from Dr.
carefully
Wu.
refined and constructed by engineers, then you get it. And the bullets, also designed by very brilliant people, you use to hunt down this thing that, if it's in the wild, just seems wasteful because it's depleting a population of a species that's already endangered for the most part. And you don't need the meat or the skin to survive, or like it doesn't have some special unobtainium in it that you need to create a special medicine or whatever. It just, yeah.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Well, that's less and less a thing. Tourism as a percentage of
Absolutely.
the industry, or not industry, the GDP of Central, Southern, and North African countries has been generally on the decline. not because the tourism industries in and of themselves have been dying, but because conservation efforts have been combating those industries, and those countries are largely, anyways, modernizing and making more and more of their profits off of more traditional industries. I mean, it's a limited resource, and it just seems like such a dumb way to expend that resource just by killing it and getting rid of it. Because if you hunt a species to extinction, you're robbing every future generation of the experience of seeing that animal or interacting with that animal. It's kind of selfish. Now, I have family who go like deer hunting, stuff like that. It's a completely different series. It's a completely different thing if the species is self-sustaining or if it's a hazard to communities, stuff like that. Lions, in particular, and hyenas in some parts of Central Africa, I know,
Message from Dr. Wu.
presumably also in parts of Northern Africa, can have that atmosphere. It's like, look, if you made hunting certain species of monkeys legal in India, you're doing the community a service by doing it. But I think if you genetically modified a creature to be hunted, you're kind of getting into Alien versus Predator territory there a little bit, but that's more ethical. Because you're designing a thing with a purpose. Hell, I mean, there were several Star Trek episodes from each series about this idea. Like, we genetically modified this sentient species to be the perfect prey to sustain our hunting society. It's ethically ambiguous, but yeah, I think there's a potential argument for it.
Message from Dr. Wu.
But, you know, if they were sentient, you'd probably want some consent and buy-in from the hunted party. And I find it hard to imagine that many thinking beings would be like, oh yeah, no, I'm cool with people hunting me down with no reward from me. Yeah, it's in the canon, in the books and in the first movie. They talk about bringing back endangered species, like condors. John Hammond uses as an example. But in some of the promotional material for Jurassic World, they, on the fake InGen websites, pointed this out, that the technology was being used to bring back endangered species, more modern endangered species. Generally, it was kind of a goodwill project to make sure that people hated them a little less for the
Message from Dr.
whole
Wu.
killer dinosaur thing. But that's a pretty cool thing. I'd be absolutely delighted. Now, dinosaurs would be hard to bring back, but, you know, things from the Ice Age? Not really. We have saber-tooth and mammoth DNA frozen. We have frozen carcasses of these things that have been decently well preserved.
Message from Dr. Seth.
It'd be very easy, comparatively, to clone those. I think that'd be fucking rad.
Message from Dr. Grant.
Money, Galliminus.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement. Our newest 5-star attraction, the
Yes.
heroic herbivore Triceratops, is now on display.
Hell
This
yeah.
gentle giant will put a smile on the faces of those visitors who long to see a vegetarian fight back. Please enjoy.
I think I saw a rat before. Yeah, you probably didn't see a rat. If you did, yeah. I think if zoos can stay open for decades and centuries, that Jurassic Park could too.
Message from Dr. Wu.
Even without all of these little side gigs. It might be difficult, and you might have to scale some things back, but I think it's doable. Surprise Engine didn't open an Ice Age park, right? Yeah, it seems like that would be the natural sequel to Jurassic Park, like Mesozoic Park, or Ice Age Park, or, you know, you gotta work on the naming a little bit, but that seems like the natural sequel, right? But instead they're like, Jurassic Park 2. Now we're bringing the park to the mainland. I'm like, that's a stupid idea. And then Jurassic Park 3. Now we're bringing stupid hang gliders to the island and then trying to get a kid back instead of just accepting that they're probably dead. And then we bring in the Marines at the end of the movie and it's kind of weird. And then, Jurassic Park, but we're not doing so hot anymore because people are thinking dinosaurs are old hats, so let's genetically modify some new dinosaurs. What if, my man, you just made species that are much easier to make instead of the fucking weapons program mixed into Jurassic World? I don't know. I would love to see that. Alright. It's been 4 hours. I am having fun, so I'm looking forward to coming back to this and playing some more of this later. But I haven't eaten in a while, right? What time is it? Midnight? I last ate it. Ooh, it's been a while. So I'm gonna get off of here. I'm probably gonna be streaming more of this tomorrow. It's my birthday, so I might be doing something else. But I'll probably be streaming more of this tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. This has been fun. I'm really enjoying the nostalgia trip. Yeah. Save this. But if you're watching this on Twitch, I'm going to be getting off of here for tonight. And if you're watching this on YouTube, stop by again tomorrow for some more of this. Make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe, all that stuff in the meantime. But until then, doodaloo. Take care. I'll see you later.